This is an ad by Regain Couples Therapy and features real testimonials.
This was our first time trying therapy, and honestly, it was long overdue. Looking back, we just wish we had started sooner.
Regain's qualified therapists help couples when they can't get there on their own.
We thought it was intimacy issues, but Andrea helped us uncover a deeper root cause we hadn't even realized was there.
Visit regain.com/couplespod to get 10% off your first month. Regain, couples therapy that works.
Lowe's knows how to help you save. This July 4th, get up to 40% off select Maytag laundry appliances. Plus, get an additional 10% off when you buy 2 or 3 select major appliances. And when you buy 4 or more, you'll save an additional 20%. Find the right appliances and features that fit your home's unique needs and style. Shop Maytag 4th of July deals at Lowe's. Valid through 7/9. See Lowe's.com for details. Savings vary based on purchase amount. Selection varies by location.
Welcome to the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
All right, guys, we are back, and we've got Greg Pruitt back with us, who was on the show. Oh, gee, when was that? That was during the season before the Saints game, I think it was. Yeah. We were pretty hyped for the team that week. Thought, hey, we can go out here and maybe get a win. Jameis is starting, and then we went down to New Orleans and got boat raced out of there pretty quickly. So, no big deal. It's all
have
good.
A better season than they had last year.
Oh, man, you're not kidding.
A couple things they were unlucky in terms of keeping people healthy. You're only as good as the 11 people you put out there.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, if you can't do that, then all of a sudden somebody in the 11 is not as good as the 11 you're playing, and it reflects on the scoreboard. So you got to get lucky, or whatever you want to call it. You got to stay healthy.
Absolutely. So let's talk running backs.
All right.
And just give us your overall view, a perspective of the room this year with the additions. They drafted Judkins in the second, Sampson in the fourth. They're trying to get back to that identity under Kevin Stefanski with this offensive line running the ball. How do you think it's going to go?
Well, I'll say it by telling a story. When I first came in, I was a high draft pick, and Leroy Kelly was here. And when I got to camp, I was a big Muhammad Ali fan, so I did a lot of talking. And so when I saw Leroy about, I guess in the program he's 6 feet, 6'1" or whatever, but to me he looked like he was maybe 5'11". But so I'm eyeballing him myself and sizing him up. And I'm saying, oh, well, he ain't as fast. He's a couple pounds bigger than I am, but that means that maybe 4 or 5 weeks I have his job. That's me talking to myself. So we get into practice, and all of a sudden it's easier to say than to do. I couldn't say why I wasn't having any progress running behind the same line and the same plays that he's running, and he's having all this success. So that meant shut up, pay attention, and learn something. And so I said all that to say this: my only disappointment, and it can happen regardless of that, is there's no veteran at the position now since Chubb is gone to teach you the game. And people, as they describe the game, I said it's kind of like when you get to the top level, it's kind of like trying to cross the freeway.
Yes, sir.
Everything is moving fast. And as you go along with somebody telling you, don't do this, do that, the game starts to slow down. And then you begin to be more successful at the position. And hopefully that'll happen with them.
Absolutely. You kind of touched on it. I wanted to bring up Nick. But probably the most beloved player, since the Browns came back in '99. Do you think it was time, for the Browns to part ways, or do you think that maybe the Browns should have been more active in bringing him back?
I think that the kind of player he was, and the kind of player he was on and off the field with that football team, it ain't just what you bring or what you give on the field. It's also leading people and teaching them how to prepare. I learned how to prepare by watching Leroy and shutting up. And so I'm a big believer that the veterans teach the game to the younger guy, and I think they're going to miss him in that sense. But I've always been a Nick Chubb fan.
Oh, me too.
And you know, I tore my knee up in '79, and some of the rehab things, physical therapy that they make you go through is you do squats and you do all that to test how strong your knee is. And so when I saw him squat like 600 pounds, I remember, you know, I couldn't do, you know, like drop 3 of them zeros. I was having a problem doing it that way. So he is a freak of nature.
Absolutely.
And I think we have not heard the last of Nick.
I don't think so either.
No.
I mean, some of those workout videos from the offseason. I mean, he was jumping. His head was damn near hitting the ceiling and stuff. It's like, oh boy, I don't know. He's got some explosion back in that knee. But
yeah, I'll always be a Browns fan, but he is he is the kind of guy that I hope for his success down the road.
Right.
Know? But I guess for this year, for the 2025, you know, we're coming off a tough year. You know, you were saying maybe some things can change. They had a lot of, you know, injuries and stuff like that. Do you think the Browns can get back to winning ways in 2025?
Hopefully they will.
Okay.
I mean, they're young, like I say, at that position at running back. And the plus on the offensive side is you got a veteran leading it. He can audible to plays based on defenses that give you a better chance at being successful. A quarterback can audible to a play, not just in passing to be successful, but he can also audible to a play to be successful running the football. So that's a huge plus with Flacco in the game, and these guys. And I saw where Sanders said that he was going to sit back and try to learn, and that's a good thing on his part. But having said that, the next subject that come up, I want to get this clear with people. I'm telling on myself. I might have a warrant out for my arrest. But I have a 911 Porsche.
Okay.
I still got it.
Yeah.
And you know, they just go fast on their own. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna be Sanders' lawyer and say his car went fast on its own.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. What year is that? What year is that 911?
79.
What color?
Red.
Nice.
Red.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah, well, we were just talking with Anthony about, you know, the speeding tickets and everything, and how, you know, whether you think it's fair or not, like you're.
Well, I understand what you're finna say. But you have to be responsible. And if you play that position, you got to play that position. You got to lead by example. And so some things you're blessed to be in that position. And sometimes you got to remember that. You're blessed to be in that position. And so don't blow it. You know, you can't. Like I can't go out and buy a $500,000 house. Some people can. And so you have to understand, some people can do some things, some people can't. So those cars are pretty fast, but he's lucky that now it can be a lesson.
Right.
Yes. And so, because success is learning from your mistakes and not repeating.
Right.
And so, and as far as that go, I hope that's the last time we even have to talk about that.
Right. Oh, I hope so too, because it just goes through the media so much more heavily when you are not only a quarterback for a team, but when you are. I mean, Shedeur Sanders has such a. He's such a celebrity.
Some kind of way, I've heard on news and people talk about it. Some kind of way, you know, if he plays a position that has to make decisions. And so if this is one of his decisions, so we're in trouble.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the best one I saw was it said a couple months ago he was going 144 when he should have been going 25. So I thought that was kind of funny too.
Scandalous.
That was kind of a low blow there. But all right, so do you want to? That's what I want to talk about, the offensive line with you and the scheme. So they're coming back to this, you know, this wide zone, outside zone, right? Wide zone with Kevin Stefanski or whatever with this offensive line and the run game. Mm-hmm. I mean, do you think we're going to see the offensive line be back to what it was, you know, prior? I mean, 2023 even, we can't really talk about the offensive line right now because most of them were hurt. Last year was bad.
And how the offensive line is healthy-wise is how this team will go.
Yeah.
Everything is based on time. You got to get the ball out in certain plays. The receiver got to get the ball. He has to have time to run a pattern. You got to have time to get deep. All of those things is based on the offensive line. And just like we observing the offensive line, the people we're going to play is observing the offensive line.
Right.
And they're going to test a guy coming back from an injury, or they're going to test what he was struggling at last year to see if he fixed it. And it's that simple. Can you fix all the things that you wasn't good at last year? And if you can, you should have a pretty good season. And if not, you're not.
This is an ad by Regain Couples Therapy and features real testimonials.
This was our first time trying therapy, and honestly, it was long overdue. Looking back, we just wish we had started sooner.
Regain's qualified therapists help couples when they can't get there on their own.
We thought it was intimacy issues, but Andrea helped us uncover a deeper root cause we hadn't even realized was there.
Visit regain.com/couplespod to get 10% off your first month. Regain, couples therapy that works.
You want the best for your child. K-12 can help them gain the skills they need to reach their full potential while giving you the support you need to get them there. K-12-powered schools are tuition-free, accredited online public schools for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. Their state-certified teachers make online learning interactive and engaging, allowing your child to learn at their pace from the safety of home. Join the more than 3 million families who have chosen K-12. Go to k12.com/podcast today to learn more. That's k12.com/podcast.
If you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, Grainger understands that you go to great lengths and sometimes heights to ensure the power is always flowing, which is why you can count on Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job done. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Okay.
Well, how's the how you doing out here on the lanes? I think everybody out there wants to know.
I thought we was talking about football.
That good, huh? That good.
Classic.
We went over and asked if anybody wanted to get on, and he's like, well, I'm bowling, but I'll come talk. It's okay. I'm not a very good bowler either, man. That is not my game.
It's been a while. I used to be a pretty good bowler.
Yeah.
But my whole life, I do stuff different from everybody else. Like when I throw a bowling ball, if you don't see me release the ball, you think I threw it with my left hand. I go left to right. I cannot make the ball spin that way.
Really? Okay.
I spin it the other way.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm good, brother. Yeah.
So is there anything about like your playing days that you wanted to talk about? Because we're live right now. We're live streaming. So there's people in the audience that are, I got people saying in here like, hey, love Pruitt. Pruitt was my favorite player back in the day. Pruitt, LFG. Like, these guys want to hear from you, man.
Well, I one of the things I do remember are the fans.
Okay.
And I tell people all the time that football was a job. It's just like everyday people on Monday you go to work. Well, for us, every Sunday we go to work. And just like people, every Monday, I don't feel like going to work. Sometimes on Sunday, you don't feel like, you just ain't feeling it. So you know the process. You do the same things, and hopefully when you get to the last part of the process, you have put yourself in a position to perform at a level that you need to run at. But one of the things I appreciated about the fans is something that I always depended on for the fans, and they never let me down, is that I would go through pregame, I'd go through my book, go get my ankles and my wrists and all that tape, say a prayer, and when I walked out and the fans saw me, you'd have to be dead not to want to play. and I appreciate that for the fans, because it was almost like a contest was won. If they could win the contest, they get to play, and if they could play, they would. I did get to play, so I expected that from them, and I always got that. People say one of the things a running back want to accomplish is 1,000 yards. So I always wanted to get 1,000 yards because it make me a little different from everybody, because everybody don't get 1,000 yards. Right. But I also wanted to see how the fans would react to me getting 1,000 yards. They did not disappoint me.
Oh, no.
In fact, it was so exciting. It was against Kansas City, I believe. It was against the Kansas City Chiefs. And going into the season, I was getting close. I needed a little over 200 yards. But but the difficult part was I wanted to get it at home, and I only had one game left. So I had 3 games to get 100 yards. I was pretty confident that I was going to get 1,000 yards. But I got 214 against Kansas City. And I'm telling you, man, the crowd lit me up so bad. I had them. I should have went back and got 250 or 240. I was just so in the wow, I can't believe it. Thank you, fans.
Yeah, we say it all the time. I mean, this fan base it's the best.
And nobody's more deserving. You know, I think sometimes we're too dedicated as fans. We'll accept anything. You know, we play bad, we forgive you. Come on back and try again.
Yep. We got short memory.
Short memory.
Last year's a perfect example. I mean, it was about as bad a season as you could possibly have. And then the fans are right back in, baby. We're bought in. We're ready to go. We're pumped. I mean, look at like this event. I mean, people come out from everywhere for something Browns related. It's so cool, man. And we're excited to have you be a part of it.
Oh, man, I'm glad. My experience as an athlete, this is the top. So, you know, even though I went to the Raiders and won a world championship, one of my goals that I accomplished, the Browns still, in terms of fan and support, you can't beat them. I remember playing in games where the fans got so rowdy that they switched ends. The dog pound had a reputation. And I'm telling you, they think a dog pound bad now. They should have been back 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, if you kick a ball, they got to take the ball and they take it right on up the stand and it'd be gone. I mean, they was trip. and the refs knew it. They would warn them. They would threaten them. They get on the mic. Even the coach would say, calm down. Remember the guy made the comment for Cincinnati Bengals?
Yeah, I do. Yes.
Right. He was referring to the Cleveland fans. I said, ain't that something? But I want to say we were playing the Houston Oilers, and it was just something happened, and the fans did not like it. And they let it be known they didn't like it by throwing balls and everything on the field. And so the referees, they tried to threaten them. That didn't work, so they just went to the other end of the field and said, let them do
play on the other
side.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's good.
That is crazy. Real quick, we'll get you out of here pretty soon so you can get back to bowling. I know you're itching to throw some.
I'm through.
So you were talking about 1,000 yards for a running back. Do you think Judkins can be a 1,000-yard rusher here as a rookie?
Yeah, to be honest with you, 1,000 yards is to me not a big deal because now you got 17 games.
True.
So when you take that and divide it per game.
How many games was it when you guys were playing?
I started out 14.
14?
14, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. How do you feel, man? I feel like a lot of these running backs right now, they don't play all 17 games because I think guys get hurt. They miss 2 or 3 games a year. So still getting 1,000 yards, I mean, it's not nothing, but I see what you're saying
But I've always said the best denominator for determining how well a running back has done based on how many yards he got is average per carry.
Yep.
See, every team has a different situation. There's no way that I can outrush O.J. Simpson when he's getting it 39 times and I'm getting it 10.
Right.
So it ain't how many yards you got, it's what did you do when you got it. And so that's how I determine average per carry.
I think that's what makes Nick Chubb's, 5.2?
So,
5.2 career? I mean, geez, out, man. He's going to be missed for sure. But
unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, Greg, thanks for sitting down and talking with us. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys. All right. So let me get back out here and bowl this 300.
Yeah.
Bowl this 300.
All right, man.
I almost had it.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at The Dogs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedogspodcast.com.
This is an ad by Regain Couples Therapy.
Let's be honest. Loving your partner doesn't mean you always like them, and guess what? That's normal. Regain, powered by BetterHelp, offers couples therapy that's flexible, affordable, and 100% online. Whether you're reconnecting or working through conflict, Regain is here to support you both. See why people wish they'd tried couples therapy sooner. Visit regain.com/couplespod to get 10% off your first month. That's regain.com/couplespod.
You want the best for your child. K-12 can help them gain the skills they need to reach their full potential while giving you the support you need to get them there. K-12-powered schools are tuition-free, accredited online public schools for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. Their state-certified teachers make online learning interactive and engaging, allowing your child to learn at their pace from the safety of home. Join the more than 3 million families who've chosen K-12. Go to k12.com/podcast today to learn more. That's k12.com/podcast.